You all ready for an auction today?
Yes.
Thank you! I've got some wonderful property for us to sell. 150 acres to the highest bidder.
Seymour!
Oh.
Seymour! Don't you have any cements around here? My heels keep getting stuck in the mud.
I told you to stay in the car.
But I was lonely.
Why didn't you put on the radio?
Well, that's not the same as having a real life person. Seymour, you're a real life person, and I'm a real life person. Let's be real life together.
I don't have time for that. I have an auction to run.
I get so sick and tired of you having no time for me.
I'm sorry, voluptua, but I have business to take care of.
But you're always taking care of business. Why don't you take care of me for a change?
But I am taking care of you. After this auction, voluptua, we'll be set for life. Right here is the deed to 150 acres of the best farmland in Bucktail Hollow, all spread out along the banks of Chamber Park Creek. I had developers coming from all over to bid on this property. They'll drive the price sky high.
Well, what do they want to be farmers for?
They're not going to be farmers. They're going to do other things with that land.
Like what?
Like build things. Casinos, luxury hotels, golf courses, Planet Fitnesses, curves, things like that. The possibilities are endless. This deal is going to be big.
So you mean one of your schemes is going to work out?
By the end of this afternoon, I'm gonna be a millionaire.
And then what?
Then,
Oh.
me and you are gonna go back to the hotel in Jackson Junction and celebrate with the best steak dinner money can buy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And then what?
Then, we're gonna drive to Nashville and see the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh, the Opry.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? And then what?
Then, we're gonna fly out to Los Angeles.
We're going to Hollywood?
Well, I promised to take you there, didn't I?
Well, yeah, but I've been waiting so long for you to keep that promise.
Well, the time has come.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm just starting to be a big, famous actress. I hope I get discovered. Oh.
I don't see how anyone could not notice you standing on the corner of Hollywood and Vine.
Oh, you're so sweet. But, if they don't, do you think you could buy me a movie studio so I could be a star?
Buy you a movie studio? Do you think I'm made of money?
But after this afternoon, you said you're going to be a millionaire.
Yeah, I am, but did you ever think that maybe I got plans for that money?
What about all the money I spent on you these past 4 years? You promised me.
I promised I'd take you to Hollywood, and that's just what I'm gonna do. Once you're there, it's all up to you.
You know, sometimes I think you're just stringing me along.
Well, you can think what you like, but not around here. I have work to do.
But what am I supposed to do?
Go back and sit in the car like I told you.
Why do I have to wait in the car?
Because you might get lost. And then, there's the feud.
The feud?
The Hayfords and the McCains have been feuding for over 100 years. You don't want to get caught up in it all.
What about you?
My mom was a McCain, and on my pappy's side, I'm Hayford, twice removed.
Removed from what?
That's not important. What is important is that I'm a boy of the hills. No one's going to pay me no mind.
Well, couldn't you just introduce me around?
No, I couldn't just introduce you around.
And why not?
You know very well why not.
What about all those developers you're bringing in? You're mixing them up in this feud, and they're strangers.
Yeah, but they're strangers with money. They got a lot to offer folks around here.
They got a lot to offer. Well, I got a lot to offer myself.
Yeah, but what you're offering, no one around here can use. Now get back to that car.
You know, someday I might just leave you, and then you will have voluptua amore to push around no more.
Well, you ain't left yet, so go on and get back to the car.
Fine.
Oh, wait, before you leave, woman, take this with you.
Oh, so I'm gonna do your bellboy now?
Go on, get it.
Best.
I heard that.
Best.
Well, howdy, stranger. Zeke Hayford's my name. I'm the proprietor of the Hayford Mercantile. That's the general store in these parts. Well, in fact, it's the only store in these parts. But I can supply your every need. If you need it, I got it. If I don't got it, then you don't need it.
I know, Zeke. I used to steal penny candy from your store.
You did? Well, please, Seymour Simpson.
The one and only.
I thought you went off to the city and made your favorite fortune.
I did.
So you made a fortune?
No,
Well, you are famous, ain't you?
not really.
Oh, so you kind of failed on both parts, huh?
I read my ups and downs.
Well, I'm surprised you came back here at all, especially after what you've done.
Oh, that's all water under the bridge.
Well, I don't think that bridge is going to take any too kindly to seeing you.
She'll get over it.
So what in tarnation brought you back to Bucktail Holler anyway?
I came back for the auction.
Well, there have been folks advertising this auction for weeks now. Look at all those folks waiting for it to get started. We're all real excited about it. Even though we don't yet know what they're auctioning off. But whatever it is, are you going to bid on it?
I didn't come here to buy. I came here to sell. I'm running this here auction.
Now, what do you got that's worth selling?
Only 150 acres of the best bottom land in the hollow.
You don't mean that piece of land down on Chamber Pot Creek, do you?
That's the one.
Well, you can't sell that unless you own it.
But I do own it. Right here's the deed.
How'd you get a hold of that?
Cousin Hiram Hayford left it to me in his will. Probably because I was his favorite.
But you can't sell that land. Well, that land was given by the great General Robert E. Lee himself. To my great-great-granddaddy, Colonel Jubal Hayford, as a reward for his service in the War of Northern Aggression. Well, that's Hayford heritage.
I know that, Zeke. Ain't I a Hayford, twice removed?
Well, why are you selling a family land?
So I can get rich!
Well, we're family, Seymour. Sorta. You've got to give me a chance to buy that land from you.
You make me a good offer, Zeke, and the land's yours.
Well, I need some time to figure things out.
You have until 3 o'clock. That's when I start the auction. Bring me an offer before then, and we'll talk business.
Uncle Zeke, you gotta help me. There are all these people here for this auction, and I can't wait on them all.
Hey, sit right here. I'll be with you in a minute, honey. There's something I gotta do first. Oh, damn, boy. Look who came back to the holler for a visit.
I'd like to go to Jackson Junction and give the doctor that sold me these spectacles a piece of my mind. They ain't worth the glass they're made of. you done. Surprised you showed your face here again.
I'm sorry about that, Mayapple. I bet you look really pretty, though.
I looked mighty fine, if and I do so say so myself. But you up and left without so much as a note.
I had a very important business deal to take care of. I bet you got to throw your bouquet anyway.
Oh, I throwed it. Elsie and Matilda tried for it real hard. Bossy was the one that ended up getting it.
You threw your wedding flowers to a bunch of cows?
What else was I supposed to do? I was never going to get another chance anyway. I'm marked because of you. Not that it matters anymore. Past my prime.
No, you're not. In New York City, women order that you get married every day.
Well, Seymour, they do things different in the big city. Round here in the hills, when a girl turns 19, her best years are behind her. You should know that.
I said I was sorry. What can I do to make it up to you?
Why don't you tie an anvil around your neck and go jump in the creek?
Oh, come on, Mayapple. You still can't be mad at me after all these years.
Oh, Seymour, I'd like to take a shotgun, fill you so full of lead, they can sharpen your head, use it as a pencil.
Let's talk about this later. It was a long drive down here, and I need to use the outhouse. If I remember right, it's just behind the general store.
Where's Seymour?
No, he went to use the privy.
You know why he came back here to the holler? He inherited all that land down along Chamberbuck Creek. And that's what's going to be auctioned off.
You mean the land given to Jubal Hayford? By Robert E. Lee himself?
That's the land. He's got to sell me that land. It has to stay Hayford land. Oh, Mayapple, I need your help.
Well, I ain't got no money to buy that land.
Well, that ain't the kind of help I need. I mean, I need you to soften Seymour up for me so he'll sell that land to me. You know, use your womanly wiles on him. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I know how you must feel about him.
Oh, it ain't that. It's just that it's been so long since I've used my womanly wiles, I forgot how to use them. Besides, Seymour's used to them big city women.
Now, what does a big city woman have that you don't got?
Oh, thank you.
Those!
Howdy, ma'am. I ain't never seen you down here before.
I'm here for the auction.
Is you a big city woman?
Big? Why, yes. Yes, I am. My name is Voluptua Amore. Amore means love.
Amore? That's a right pretty name.
Thank you. That's my stage name. I'm an actress.
I don't recall seeing you in pictures of the beach, you in Jackson Junction.
Oh, well, that's just because I'm an actress on the stage, but you'll see me in the movies soon. I'm going to Hollywood.
Are you going to take part in this here auction?
No, I'm just here with a friend. Oh, by the way, is there a restaurant around here? Anywhere?
No, but there's a diner up in Jackson Junction.
This is so uncivilized. I would have thought that someone would have built one by now.
If you're hungry, we got a whole mess of victuals in the general store. Old Mayapple's been cooking for all these fine folks that came here for this here auction, and she's the best cook in these parts.
Well, I got ham hocks, collard greens, cornbread, and 2 kinds of pie. Sweet potato and molasses.
What, no possum pie? What's wrong? I was just making a joke.
Well, around here, we don't joke about possum pie.
Why not?
Well, you see, the McCades and the Hayfords have been feuding for 140 years, all because of a possum pie.
See, the McCades had kinfolk come up from Kentucky one summer, and Florinda McCade wanted to impress them. So she asked Ida Bell Hayford for her best possum pie recipe. Now, everyone knows that Ida Bell Hayford makes the best possum pie in the holler.
But one of the ingredients was missing, and the pie was terrible. And the Bucktail Hall McCades were embarrassed in front of their Kentucky kinfolk.
Yep, the McCades blamed Ida Bell for leaving out the ingredients on purpose so that she'd still have the best possum pie.
But everyone knows that old Florinda made a mistake. And then the feud started.
Let me get this straight. You've been shooting at each other. Shooting for 100 years. All because of a pie?
We both take our honor seriously.
Well, yeah, but it just seems like an awful lot of fuss of us and say.
How'd you know what the missing ingredient was?
Whoa, I just took a wild guess. All the chefs in the big city use sage in their cooking. Sage is all the rage. Well, do you think I could buy a piece of that pie and a cup of coffee? I didn't have any lunch and I'm hungry.
Well, everything you need is over at Cheryl's store.
Thank you. I'll see you later.
Wait here. Seymour's on his way back. Now you work on him like I told you to.
Everything's just the way I remember.
Well, you should have come back sooner, Seymour.
I didn't think I'd be welcome around here.
Oh, we hill folk are very welcoming. Seymour, what kind of victuals they been selling? You've been eating in the big city. You're a strong snow tree.
That's because that was an oak tree. What are you up to, May Apple?
Seymour. You remember what you asked me, what you could do? For what you've done to me?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like you to sell that land of yours to my Uncle Zeke.
I could do that.
Really?
Sure. As long as he outbids everyone else.
That ain't fair!
I didn't come here to be fair. I came here to make money.
Oh, I'm so mad. Well, I can't think of anything mean enough to call you.
Give it some time and it'll come to you, Mayapple. I never knowed you not to have something to say.
Howdy, Luther.
There's bound to be a lot of thirsty folks at this here auction, so I brought your Uncle Zeke a jug of my best recipe.
Thank you, Luther. I'll go take it to him.
She's got some hitch in her get-along.
Luther Drummer.
Seymour Simpson,
So, you remember me.
and everything you ever did. Tipping cows in Amos Haney's pasture, pushing over the Ferguson outhouse, With old Ferguson still inside. Of course, what you've done to me,
Why don't we just let bygones be bygones? So, when did you become sheriff?
I was elected last year.
Don't you find it to be a conflict of interests to be both the sheriff and the biggest moonshiner in the holler?
Not at all. I ain't likely to arrest myself for making my arrest with me now. And I ain't the biggest moonshiner in the holler. I just make the best. The biggest is Sam Atkins, who dares call that swill that comes out of his still whiskey. You remember him, don't you? He had a daughter. Viney, I think her name was. That's it, Viney Atkins. She run off to the city afore you did. Did you ever run into her?
Won't say that I have.
So what brings you back to the holler?
Just 150 acres of the finest land along the Chamber Pot Creek. Cousin Hiram Hayford left it to me, and I'm here to auction it off.
Are you out of your mind, boy?
Don't worry, Luther. I'm doing everything legal. I have all my papers here.
That's not what I'm worried about. The McCades claim that land as their own. So do the Hayfords. And they've been feuding for 140 years, and here you come and put yourself right in the middle of it.
You forget, I'm kin to both the Hayfords and the McCades.
And that's reason enough for both families to fill you full of buckshot.
I'm not afraid of them.
Well, then you ain't got no sense.
Luther, look at all those people gathering out there. No one's going to do anything to me with them watching.
Well, I hope you're right.
Afternoon, Sheriff.
Why, Rosalie, what have you been up to?
Oh, one of Amos Haynes' cows done had a calf this morning, and I went over to take a look.
You sure do love critters.
Oh, they's one of my favorite things.
Maybe I'll take a walk over and have a look myself.
Oh, he's the purtiest thing you ever did see.
You watch yourself, Seymour.
Mm-hmm. So, you're Rosalie Hayford.
And what of it?
Don't get mad. It's just that you were only so high the last time I saw you. And look how you grew out. Grew up.
Who are you?
Don't you recognize me? I'm Cousin Seymour.
Oh, Cousin Seymour!
Mm.
I ain't seen you since you moved away.
It's been a long time.
Well, tell me, Cousin Seymour, what's it like in the big city? Is it like in the moving pictures they show over in Jackson Junction?
Why don't you come back to the city with me and find out?
That ain't what I meant.
But the city was made for girls like you.
Well, just what kind of girl do you think I am? I ain't no Viney Atkins to go running off.
But I'd be there as your tour guide.
Ugh, I hate to hurt you, Seymour, but I don't take kindly to men making advances on me when I don't want them to.
So there are men whose advances you like. Okay, I take it back. If you let go, I'll leave you alone. I think I'll go find Luther. Maybe it wouldn't hurt to have a bodyguard around here. Where's Kevin Costner when you need him?
Well, there is a gentleman who advances our life, but I can't talk about him to no one. Oh, Reuben, why do you gotta be Reuben? Just give up your kinfolk and change your name, and if you won't, tell me I'm your one true love, now stop being Hayford. It's our names that keep us apart. And what's in a name anyway? That critter we call a skunk will stick no matter what we call him. So Reuben would. Oh, I wish you had a different name. And what's a McCade anyway? It ain't an arm, nor leg, nor hand, nor any other man
take you.
Please, Reuben. We mustn't be doing this.
What's the matter? Don't you love me no more?
Of course I love you.
Well, then what's the matter?
Oh, Reuben. We is star-crossed.
Does that have something to do with them horoscopes?
No, Reuben. It means that we ain't supposed to be together because our families are feuding.
But I love you, Rosalie.
Oh, please, Reuben. Not here. Someone might see us. Oh, and then my Paul's gonna find out, and your kinfolk too.
Does that mean I can't talk to you?
Oh, well, if you stand over there, and I stand over here, and we pretend not to see each other, I reckon it'll be all right.
How long do you think we'll have to keep our love a secret?
Until our families stop feuding, I reckon.
You know what, Rosalie? If there weren't no feud and you and me could get hitched, I'd build us a fine cabin. Would you like that?
Uh-huh. And maybe you could build a picket fence around it.
And a barn, and a smokehouse,
And maybe some critters.
and maybe a youngin' or two,
Maybe.
maybe 3 or 4.
Rosalie, what's going on here?
Nothing, Paul.
Well, how long before this cutting turned into something? What are you doing here, boy?
I just came over to the store to buy some things.
Well, my daughter ain't part of the merchandise. Now, you get along.
Yes, sir.
I've been a good pa to you, haven't I, Rosalie?
Oh, there ain't been none better, Paul.
Well, it breaks my heart to see you without Reuben McCabe.
Paul Reuben's real nice.
That ain't the point. He's a McCabe, and you know no good's gonna come from that.
Paul, our family's been feuding for over 100 years or more. Don't you think it's time that we stop?
But didn't I always bring you up to respect, honor? Well, I even named you after the most honorable man that ever drew a breath, General Robert E. Lee.
Yes, Paul, you did all that.
Well, now don't you forget it, honey. Now, why don't you go on inside and help Mayapple? Luther, I'm glad you're here. Rosalie is going inside to help Mayapple, and Reuben McCabe's in there. I caught these two making eyes at each other. And I really would feel even better if you were there as a chaperone.
McCabe and Hayford, you sure do like playing with fire, don't you?
Oh, I'm doing nothing of the kind. I'm just, never mind.
I'm glad we're alone, Seymour. I got Stock's business with you.
So talk away, Zeke.
Well, summing up my mattress, I got $2,500. And I reckon that bank over in Jackson Junction would lend me another $2,500. And that'd make...
Don't forget to carry the one. But I'm not from the hills anymore. I can make millions in this auction, and that's what I'm going to do.
Well, you're selling your heritage to complete strangers. You're selling your honor.
As long as it makes me rich, I'd sell anything.
You're a disgrace to the hills. and nobody be sorry to see you hung from the nearest tree. And with you out of the picture, I can claim that as next of kin.
Is that a threat?
You take it any way you like it.
Now don't take it personal, Zeke. It's just business.
Reuben! 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 Anybody here see my grandson? I ain't never seen you around here before. You're here for that auction, aren't you? Yeah. Reuben! Come on, have you seen my grandson? He's big and strong. Got a head like a rock. Reuben!
Grandma, you was calling me?
Where have you been, boy?
I was just over at the general store. You should see the mess of victuals Mayapple has. She even got my favorite, molasses pie.
You stay away from those paper pies. Why, remember what they did to poor Florinda McCabe's possum pie.
But this is different, Grandma. And besides, Luther Drummer even brought a jug.
Luther brought a jug. Was it a big jug?
It was a fair-sized one, and he even said it was his best recipe.
His best recipe. No, we got business to tend to, and business comes before pleasure.
What business do we got?
Well, they've been advertising this here auction for weeks. I aim to find out what it is they're selling.
Oh, well, I know what they're selling. Oh, well, you remember Seymour Simpson who left the holler? Well, he's a Hayford, twice removed.
Twice removed. They should have removed that one all the way.
Well, he's the one running the auction.
What's he got to sell?
You know that parcel of land down by the creek where Hiram Hayford had his place? Well, when he died, he gave it to Seymour, and now Seymour's auctioning it off.
Well, he ain't got the right to sell that.
Well, of course he does. He's a Hayford, and that's Hayford land. Jubal Hayford got that as a present from General Robert E. Lee.
Well, that was the only mistake that General ever did make.
What do you mean, Grandma?
Oh, come on, sit down, boy. I reckon it's time I told you. Now, I ain't gonna live forever. And someday, when I pass on to my reward, well, you're gonna have to take care of what I'm leaving you.
Are you leaving me your rifle? Because mine shoots a little left, but yours is a perfect shot.
I ain't talking about my rifle. I'm talking about your history.
My history?
Your history. Now, the very first McCains are the ones who settled that patch of land down along Chamber Pot Creek. Yes, your great-great-granddaddy, he done lost it in a poker game. But that weren't there. Well, he was all liquored up with moonshine. Why, that land was stole from us, and ain't nobody got the right to give it to no one.
Gosh.
Now, you think on that, boy. What is it you want right now more than anything?
One of Mayapple's molasses pies?
No, you don't.
One of your molasses pies?
Will you hush up about pies, boy? What you want is to make that land part of the McCain homestead again.
I reckon so.
Well, I'm going to help you do it if it's the last thing I do.
Where are you going?
Well, I'm going to go give that Seymour Simpson a talking to. You stay away from those Hayford pies. And Hayfords in general.
Rosalie.
Oh, I snuck away from the store to see you. We'd be in a heap of trouble if anyone saw us together.
If my grandma saw us, she'd take me out to the shed and switch me good.
So would my pa.
You mean your pa would switch you?
No, he'd switch you. Ruben, we gotta think of some way we can be together. Ruben, what's wrong? Do you got a bellyache or something?
No, why?
Well, your face looked like you was hurting.
I was just thinking, that's all.
Did you get any ideas?
Not a one.
Ruben!
I'll be right back. Well. It seems Bucktail Hollow has its own Romeo and Juliet.
It ain't polite to eavesdrop on people.
Maybe not, but you learn the most interesting things when you do. I wonder what your pa would say if he knew. Or maybe Eula McCade.
You'd better not tell on us.
Your pa has every right to know. Of course, I might change my mind if you change yours.
What do you mean?
I'll keep quiet about this if you come away with me.
Run away with you?
We'll go to Hollywood. I'll make you a movie star.
Do you mean like Mary Pickford?
Oh, you'll be more famous than Mary Pickford.
And what about Ruben?
Who cares about Ruben?
I do! Oh, I can't run away.
Then I'll have to tell your pa about you and Ruben.
Oh, and you can't do that neither.
Am I interrupting something?
Nothing at all.
Nothing except he wants me to run away to Hollywood with him.
Oh, he does he?
Yeah, he said he's gonna put me in moving pictures.
He promised me the same thing.
You already have a sweetheart and you want me to run away with you? Oh, shame on you.
She's not my sweetheart. I'm more like her, agent.
You better stop making advances on me or I'll tell Ruben.
And I'll tell your pa about the two of you.
Oh, and if you do that,
You'll what?
Well, you won't like it!
Oh.
How threatening. See, I'm an agent now.
I just told her that.
Yeah, but you've been taking your 10% from me for a long time, Seymour.
I thought I told you to stay in the car.
I got hungry, so I had a piece of pie, okay? It's been a long time since I had sweet potato pie.
Give me the car keys.
What for? You're not thinking of running off and leaving me here.
I'm not leaving here until I've made my millions.
Yeah, well, you better not.
Rosalie, I was just... Excuse me, ma'am. I thought you were someone else.
I could be someone else.
Is you a big city woman?
Hey, why yes, I am. And you're just a country boy.
Yes, sir. My grandma says city women is wicked. Is you a wicked city woman?
Stick with me and you'll find out.
Yeah?
Yeah. So big and strong. Tell me, do you work out?
You city folk. Of course I work outside. You think the farm has a roof over it?
No. I mean, where did you get your muscles?
I just come by natural, I guess.
Well, I guess you're just naturally handsome.
That tickles.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right. You can tickle me if you like.
That laugh is adorable.
Well, I see I'm the one interrupted now.
Your whole life's an interruption, Seymour.
Seymour, my grandma wants to talk to you. Excuse me, ma'am.
I can't leave you alone, can I?
Jealous, Seymour?
No, I'm just looking out for you.
The only person you look out for is yourself.
And that's what got me where I am today.
That in my bank account.
Don't start that again.
Listen, you're gonna pay me back for every favor I've done for you.
Will you go wait in the car?
I mean it, Seymour. You're gonna do right by me, or else.
Or else what?
Or else all these dang folk are gonna find out what a sleazy con man you are.
You're forgetting one thing.
What's that?
We both have pasts to hide.
I'll keep your hair on, Seymour. It's falling off.
This is real. You just don't,
There he is, Grandma.
Seymour Simpson. I remember you always was a weasel-eyed porcupine. And I see ain't much changed now.
Mrs. McCade, I see you're still a delicate mountain flower.
Now, sweet talk, you and me got business. You got some land, and I want it.
So do a lot of other people.
Yeah, but I got a bigger claim on that land. Why, the very first McCade settled, that's our homestead.
And from what I remember, they lost it in a poker game.
Oh, that weren't there. Any gentleman would have given it back.
Well, I'm not a gentleman when it comes to money.
Well, there's got to be some way we could make some kind of trade.
I don't think you have anything that would make me give up that land.
Think again.
You can't shoot me.
Of course I can.
Grandma never misses.
But it's just a piece of land.
It's McCade land. It belongs to our family. And blood is thicker than water.
But I'm part of your family. I'm a McCade on my mother's side.
Yeah, but you got Hayford blood too, and Hayford blood cancels that out.
Let's be reasonable. I'm sure we can talk this out.
No, I'd rather shoot than talk.
You wouldn't shoot in front of a witness, would you?
Beulah McCade.
Ezekiel Hayford.
What are you doing here?
Well, I'm just trying to talk Seymour Simpson into giving me what's mine.
If it's what I think it is, it ain't yours any longer.
It's a McCade homestead. It belongs to my family.
It was Jim Hayford's reward.
Well, he lost that reward when he up and married that Yankee out of Bell.
Annabelle Hayford was a Yankee.
Born and bred, and stingy with her recipes, too.
Florida McCade never did know how to cook.
Don't you insult my kinfolk.
Well, don't you insult my honor.
Maybe we should just settle this right now.
Maybe we should. Rosalie, bring that ball.
Come on, boy.
Great. They had to do this now. Ladies and gentlemen, there is nothing to worry about. The auction will take place as planned as soon as they're done. It shouldn't take long. There aren't that many of them. Now, when shooting starts, just get down under your chairs and you'll be all right. Just don't come out until it stops. Uh-oh, here they come.
How about calling me? Okay, so that's for a long time.
Grandma, there's 3 of them and only 2 of us.
Hey, Apple. Get it over here.
I don't think we have much to worry about.
I'm giving you one last chance to back out, Beulah.
Oh, back out yourself.
All right, then.
I'm really...
All right now, calm down now. I said calm down now. Just look at yourselves. Do you really want to be shooting at each other like that?
Well, he's right, boy. Come on, let's go round up the rest of the family.
That's not what I meant. I want you to stop all this fussing and feuding.
But they started it.
And as sheriff of Bucktail Holler, I'm finishing it. Oh, now, I hope you don't mind, but there was a piece of your molasses pie sitting out, and I picked it up and I ate it as I was coming out here. That was the most delicious thing I've had in a long time.
I told you about that pie.
The only molasses off my hands. It's mighty sticky.
Well, you're welcome to use a fork next time.
I just might do that. Seymour? Seymour, where did...
Yes.
Oh, there you are. Seymour, it's after 3 o'clock. It ain't polite to keep folks waiting.
Absolutely.
Don't you think you should get this auction started?
Right away.
Hey, not this auction meeting. You got to stop this auction. It's Haysburg land.
I said, hold on here. Now, I know what y'all are going to say, and it ain't going to do you no good. Seymour owns the deed to that land, and the law says he can sell it if he wants to. And I'm here to see that the law is upheld.
Thank you, Luther.
You remember this come election time, Luther.
Now, there's a jug of mine in the store. Why don't you all go on in there and have a nice long sip and settle yourselves down.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry about these interruptions, but you have to understand these hillbillies don't have the sophistication that you have. That's why I'm selling this land. A nice old-fashioned casino will bring these mountain people the culture and refinement they need.
Did you just insult us?
I'm trying to run an auction here.
That sound like an insult to you folks?
Definitely.
Oh, full full lead.
What?
You take that back.
All right, simmer down, Reuben.
That ain't right, Luther. He thinks just 'cause he's a big city boy now he's better than the rest of us. Auctioning off the best part of the holler and calling us names.
Not in front of all these folks, Reuben.
Sorry.
It's okay.
All right, Luther. Thank you, man. If you don't take that back, I'm gonna get you. You just wait and see.
You go on with your auction, Seymour.
Yes. Here. Look at this map. Here you can see the property up for sale. Right along the edge of this creek. Waterfront property, ladies and gentlemen. A valuable asset. If you don't want to build a casino, it'd be the perfect spot for a golf course. All you have to do is cut down a couple hundred trees. Let's start the bidding at 10 million. 10 million. Do I hear 11?
11.
Thank you, sir. 11 million.
No! I bid $11.
You can't bid $11.
I just did.
The bid stands at 11 million.
Excuse me, but have you done an environmental impact study on this property?
A what?
An environmental impact study? Do you look at how this casino would affect the birds and the other animals living here?
I don't think it's going to affect them much. Birds can't play the slot machine. Now, a raccoon could pull the arm down, but I wouldn't let one in the building. Now, I'd like to hear another bid.
I'd like some more moonshine.
And while you're at it, could you bring some of that pie?
There will be no more refreshments until after the auction. Now, the bid is 11 million. 11 going once, going twice.
11.50.
Thank you. 11.5 million.
No! $11.50.
Stop doing that!
Excuse me, but what about Marcellus shale drilling? What about the rights for Marcellus shale drilling?
Well, if Marcellus buys this land, he's got the right to drill anything he wants. I'd like to hear another bid.
I'd like to see you bring that wicked city woman back.
I know, aren't they adorable?
I bid $12, and that's as high as I'm going to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your minds on this auction. This is valuable property. It will going to give you a bag for your bucks.
It's gonna give us a what? judgment on him.
Who could have done such a thing?
That's funny. The barrel of my rifle's hot like it was just fired or something.
I have some questions for you, boy. But let's get Seymour out of here first. Maybe we can put him in your ice house, Zeke?
Sure enough.
Ah, Seymour! How am I gonna get to Hollywood now? All I have left is your hair. I told you not to pick this one.
Is that awful? He had it coming to him.
Here, let me have some of that. Just sit on my knives.
Now, I'd like to see that rifle of yours, Reuben. Yep, you're right. It is warm. What about the rest of yours? May I? They're all cold. That means, Reuben, that your rifle was the one that was fired.
And that's the one who shot Seymour. And we all heard Reuben threaten Seymour.
Oh, watch what you're saying about my tempo.
Reuben.
I didn't shoot him. I didn't even have my rifle. I set it by the outhouse and went to get one of my apples pies. And then when I came back, it was hot.
Well, that's a likely story.
Well, what if it's true? And that means any one of you could have picked up that rifle and shot Seymour.
But which one of us would want to shoot Seymour?
That's what I aim to figure out.
Well, and how are you going to do that?
Well, you see, every Wednesday night, me and Alma, I call my wife Alma.
That's the name, Luther.
And that's why I call her that. See, every Wednesday night, me and Alma go over to Jackson Junction to see the moving picture shows at the Bijou Theater. Now, we love all pictures, but our favorite ones are the detective pictures. We just love Basil Rathbone as Sherlock Holmes, and William Powell and Myrna Loy as Nick and Nora Charles. That Myrna Loy. Woo, doggies.
What's your point, Luther?
My point is that in all these detective pictures, the detective interviews the suspects. He listens for clues, and then he puts them clues together to find out who done the murder. And that's what I'm going to do. You all are suspects, and I'm going to talk to y'all. And we have these fine witnesses out here to help me ask you questions. We'll get to the bottom of this shooting.
Well, there ain't nothing to get the bottom of. We all know Reuben done shot Seymour. I don't know why you just don't take him to jail in Jackson Junction instead of playing detective.
What's the matter, Zeke? You got something to hide?
No, of course not.
I didn't think so. All right, let's get this thing started. Beulah, why don't you move yourself over here? And Seymour, have a seat on that stump, and I'll take your rifle. It's evidence now. All right, Reuben. Why don't you tell us all who you are?
My name is Reuben McCabe.
And where were you when this shooting was happening?
Well, when the auction was over, I was still pretty hungry. So I went to the general store to get one of my apples pies. But first, I put my gun up against the outhouse, and then I took a pie under a weeping willow tree and ate it. But then my hands was all sticky afterwards, so I had to go up to the schoolhouse to wash them. And then when I was on my way back, I heard a gunshot. And then I ran back to get my rifle and joined everybody else.
So you left your rifle sitting by the outhouse. And you ate one of May Apple's molasses pies.
Yeah.
Did anyone see you?
I can see him.
I don't reckon so.
That means you ain't got no alibi. Do any of you folks have any any questions for Reuben here?
Just how long were you in that outhouse, son?
How long was I in the... I didn't go in the outhouse. I just put my gun there while I went to eat the pie.
These cavemen can hold it all day.
Why the hell would you put your gun by the outhouse? That seems kind of stupid.
That's a McCabe for you.
Well, I only have 2 hands, so I had to go pick up the pie with 2 of them, and then I didn't have any left from my rifle.
So why'd you go to the schoolhouse to wash your hands rather than in the general store kitchen? Seems silly to me.
They don't like me in the back of that kitchen, so I went up.
We don't like them anywhere near. I don't think they would want you taking them pies either, but that didn't stop you.
I paid for the pie, fool.
Well, them pies is good.
Now, are you sure you paid that pie?
You know, if he'll take the pie, he'll probably shoot him in it.
I would never shoot anyone.
Well, if that pie's so sticky and you can't get it off, is it still on your hands, like the sheriff there?
No, well, I got it off pretty nice.
Did you see anybody go in or out of the outhouse?
No.
Is his rifle sticky?
That's the funny thing. I can't feel any molasses on this here rifle.
Thank you, ma'am.
How close is the weeping willow from the outhouse?
Well, the Weeping Willow's not too far from the outhouse. I just took it, I took the pie, and I took it a little ways. I don't know how far. And then I ate it under that Weeping Willow right over there.
Those branches hang way down.
So if we were to look at that weeping willow, there'd be an empty pie dish?
Did I throw it away? I don't know if I threw it away, sir. It might still be there. I don't know.
I heard your gun's a pretty bad shot. Do you think you could have shot him from that far away and made it?
Yeah, I reckon I could. It shoots a little to the left, but I do pretty well, I think. Grandma taught me.
I learned.
Was anyone in the general store while you were eating your pie?
They might have been, but I snuck in so I could grab one without them seeing me because they don't like me in there. So I didn't see anyone in there.
Anything else you'd like to hear from Reuben?
He said he didn't do it, and he didn't do it.
That's a likely
He
story.
didn't say a lot of things, but I think we're done listening to you, Reuben. Why don't we hear what your grandma has to say?
Good job.
Thanks, Grandma.
I do want to mention that this is indeed one of your best.
Well, I have a gift. So, tell these fine folks who you are.
Beulah Scruggs McCade.
Beulah Scruggs McCabe. So you weren't born a McCabe.
Well, that would be kind of creepy. I married a McCade.
And what is your connection to this land?
Well, the very first McCades are the ones that settled that land down there along Chamberpot Creek.
Yeah?
The very first ones.
Excuse me, Beulah, but that there land was given to Jubal Hayford by Robert E. Lee himself.
What was that?
I seem to recall that over 100 and some years ago, that unreliable McCabe lost that land in a poker game.
Well, that's true. That's true, but we all know it weren't fair. He was all liquored up on probably some fine moonshine. That's not right. That shouldn't have happened. And then again, there's that Jubal Hayford there, that Yankee girl. That should have canceled out any of his inheritance.
So, let's get back to this murder here. Where was you when all the shooting was going on?
Well, I was sitting on the porch of the general store in the swing, enjoying a few sips.
And no one saw you sipping and swinging and a swinging and a sipping?
That'll rightly know.
Anyone have a question for Beulah?
You mean you didn't see your grandson eating the pie? How blind are you?
What'd she say?
She said you didn't see Reuben eating a pie. How blind are you?
You want to borrow my spectacles?
Well, like he said, he was under the weeping willow. You can't see no one under that weeping willow.
I was trying to sneak so she couldn't see me, so no one could see me.
I did tell him to stay away from those sacred pies. I can make pies.
Anything else? Because I have a question for you. Reuben said he left his rifle leaning up against the privy. Did you see that rifle there?
Well, bless you. I must confess that when you get to be my age and you're sipping, then you've got to be making some trips. So obviously I had to go to the privy, and I did see his gun there, but we are talking about Reuben, a fine boy, but he's been known to forget things. I didn't worry about his gun there. Everyone knows Reuben's gun.
Yes, sir.
When we were interrogating Reuben, he said that he can shoot with his gun that shoots to the left because she taught him how. So you have shot his gun before, and you know how to shoot it, even though it bears to the left.
Well, of course, I'm his grandma.
She is my grandma.
Well, it seems pretty obvious that you were pretty concerned about Seymour selling off what you think is the family homestead,
That's
even
right,
though it ain't yours no more.
Well,
So
then,
why?
Beautiful Hayford by Robert E. Lee himself.
So what did you hope to gain by shooting Seymour?
I didn't shoot Seymour over crying loud. Who said that anyway?
Well, she could have gained the land.
Well, I'm not going to get it by shooting somebody.
I see a question, Luther.
Right over there.
Right ahead.
How many sips can you have and still shoot straight?
I can always shoot straight.
Grandma never misses.
Anything else we need to know from Beulah?
Beulah, could it be possible that when you went to the outhouse, you put your gun beside Reuben?
That's my
And I know. And it was sticky. And then you shot Seymour. And then you put the gun down and it was sticky. And then you went to the bathroom. And then Luther came out and picked up the wrong gun. And it was actually your gun because you shot Seymour because you wanted to kill him.
That sounds like something we're ready to do.
You got any of that moonshine?
I think you.
We're not sticky questions. It sounds like.
Beulah, if you killed him, go with God.
Well, you know, you touched my gun, and I don't let everyone touch my gun. Ain't nothing been shot out of this gun in a while.
But the sheriff had sticky fingers because he had the gun. And then you touched the gun. And then Luther picked up the gun with sticky fingers. He is innocent. One of you two is guilty.
Huh? Say that again?
I'm not sure she knows who she's talking.
I think she's been sipping.
It's fine stuff, isn't it?
Well, Aunt Beulah, I think we've heard enough from you.
Well, maybe for the time being. No, thank you very much for the good recipe.
Why don't we talk to Z?
Move there, young man.
All right, Z. Tell us who you are.
But Luther, you know who I am.
Well, I know, but these folks don't.
My name's up there in the general store.
Just be polite and introduce yourself.
Howdy, everyone. I'm Spinnenweber.
Howdy.
And you're the...
Oh, well, I'm a proprietor of the general store. You know that.
They don't. Now, when Seymour was out here auctioning off that land,
Hayford land.
that land, what was you doing?
Well, you see how stingy old Beulah over there is with that there jug? Well, you brought another jug a couple weeks ago. Well, I didn't tell anybody I had it, so I kept it down in the spring house. So I was down there just nursing my wounds and sipping on your...
Well, now, I'm not that hard to believe. Who could believe any jug would last a couple of weeks?
Without you around, it lasts a long time.
Now, how do we know you was down in the spring house?
Well, because I just told you.
Why did anybody see you?
I didn't see him.
No, because if somebody saw me, then they'd know I had another jug down there.
And that means you ain't got an alibi either.
I know that.
Yeah, it's an alibi. Is this something I need to carry at the general store?
It is a reason that proves you didn't commit a murder.
If everybody needs one, maybe I could sell them. How much you get for an alibi?
You can't sell them because they ain't a thing.
I've heard people buying alibis before, eh?
Anyone want to deal with this man?
We've got lots of more molasses pie, and we've got some sweet potato pie, and we've got some ham hocks.
Now, on your way to the spring house, did you happen to see Reuben's rifle sitting there?
Well, of course, the pretty's right between the spring house and the general store.
And that's all you did was look at it?
I ain't paying no mind. I carry my own.
I think you framed Reuben to keep him away from your daughter.
There ain't nothing going on there. No, no, no. I got me a big switch that says there ain't nothing going on.
How'd you know it was Reuben's gun?
Everybody knows whose gun's whose around here.
If Reuben's not allowed near the general store, how do you know?
Because he's been around the general store and I shoo him away, but, you know, he's got to buy stuff at the
It's
store.
the only store. We gotta shop somewhere, but we don't.
Don't tell them, but I got a McCabe price and an everybody else price.
How often have you shot your gun?
My gun?
Or a gun?
Well, hey, I shoot all the time. You know, we have fresh venison in there too.
Possum in there?
I'm sorry?
Possum?
No. We don't do possum. Possum. No possum.
Are you good of a shot as grandma?
Ain't nobody as good a shot as Grandma.
Some say I'm better than Grandma.
Damn.
Are those all Hayfords?
What? I'm sorry?
Are those all Hayfords who say that?
Whoa. Yeah.
Seems to me that you were pretty upset with Seymour when he came in to sell that land that you thought was going to be yours.
That land was given to my great-great-granddaddy by General Robert E. Lee.
Exactly. And that's what I mean when you heard that he was going to sell it, and he wasn't even going to consider your offer with the loan from the bank to get to $5,000.
Where did you get $5,000?
Oh, hush up, woman.
Didn't you say that you were going to do something about that?
Oh, no, I just said threatened him a little bit because...
Threatened him a little bit with a gun in your hand.
No, I didn't have a gun in my hand at that time. The only gun I put in my hand was a Buell McCain.
So, you had a gun in your hand, you made a threat against Seymour.
I didn't have a gun in my hand when I threatened Seymour.
You had a motivation.
We don't sell alibis.
And sitting down there in the spring house, you probably had a damn good opportunity, too.
What's an opportunity? What? To the piano?
Zeke, I have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
What's more important to you, your land or your daughter?
Hell. My daughter is very important to me.
Well, isn't it true that Seymour put the moves on your daughter shortly before he was brutally murdered by your gun?
No, I didn't hear that. What are you talking about, Seymour?
I didn't hear that neither.
Seymour's a cousin of hers. That's it.
Well, if you were sipping a little less, you might be more inclined to see the things around you.
And be there to protect your daughter.
From the depredations of all those men.
If I'm going to shoot anyone, it better be Reuben, because they seem to be a little foolish myself.
Maybe this is a good time to stop words.
And maybe you're just getting warmed up.
Maybe I
am. Maybe we should talk to Rosalie and see about these advances.
There weren't no advances.
You're a good man, Paul.
All right, Rosalie, tell these fine folks who you are.
Rosalie Hayford.
Rosalie Hayford. And where was you when Seymour was getting shot?
I went back to Amos Haynes' barn to see the cow. He's so cute.
Has Amos named him yet?
Jimmy.
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 That's a lot for him.
Now, Rosalie, did anyone besides the cow see you in that barn?
No, sir.
I didn't see her.
Amos wasn't around?
Amos wasn't around, sir. Just me and Jimmy. He was standing already and everything.
So no one saw you. But did you see Reuben's rifle?
I did. It was sitting right up against the outhouse.
So tell us about this reason you had to shoot Seymour.
Oh, Luther, I would never shoot Seymour.
Well, these folks said he made you mad.
Yeah, maybe they don't know what they're talking about.
Do you
See,
folks-
I told you nothing going on. Nothing.
Didn't he threaten to tell about you and Reuben?
What are
There
you
ain't nothing
talking
going on
about?
out here, Reuben. No.
Sheriff, just a little point of order here as a member, and since we're asking these questions, and since there's a known murderer up there with you, do you think it's really right that they all have rifles?
Not more hot.
I don't have a rifle.
Is there anything you'd like to ask Rosalie about what she was up to?
She was up to nothing. Leave her alone.
Oh, thank you.
That's a real girl.
See if she's sticky.
I would like
Yes, ma'am.
Were you gonna run away to New York with Seymour?
Oh, no, ma'am. Oh,
Are you sure? You didn't even think about it?
Creepy.
well,
I know it!
no,
What is she talking about?
No. She ain't talking about nothing. It's going on.
This farm with the animals that you went to, just how far up the road is that?
Not that far.
No, it's right next door.
Oh, so close enough that you could.
Oh, it's close enough you can spit and hit it.
All right. So, Rosalie, one question. Okay, so it's obvious that you and Reuben have a thing going. And you got that star, you got the whole star-crossed lover thing. And he might be a few cards short in his deck. This is what I was talking about the raffles, okay?
Grandma.
I ain't played cards in a while.
Sometimes the Joker is wild. But it seems to me that you got the star-crossed lovers, you got the family feud. If only you could get rid of that Seymour selling the land, maybe there would be something that, who knows, the families could get back together and celebrate a glorious marriage. And you could sit down there on Coleman Howard Road.
Is this the new preacher in town?
Yes, ma'am.
Amen. Can we just move this along already? This is getting ridiculous.
What if one of them says General E. Lee?
Where's that music coming from?
I let Rosalie go, or do you want to talk to her some more? I'll go right ahead.
Now, Rosalie, since you are very enamored with Reuben, I would like to know, since his gun shoots to the left, has he ever demonstrated to you how you shoot it accurately that way?
Who? Reuben?
Yes. Has he ever let you shoot his
Well,
left?
me and Reuben don't really see each other very
No,
often.
I'm telling you, Ryan, no way.
I did see you a short time ago getting together.
That's everything? All right. Why don't we talk to your cousin Mayapple?
Over here.
Yeah, that's better. Now, tell these folks who you are.
I'm Mayapple Hayford.
And what do you do here?
Well, I work in the general store for my uncle.
And where were you when Seymour got himself shot?
Well, I was making up some fiddle for all these fine folks here at the auction.
You was in the kitchen in the back of the store.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody see you back there?
I didn't see anybody.
So we don't know whether you was really there or not.
I was there.
So you say.
Lots of fiddles back there if you want to shake.
I don't think the Beatles are going to tell me anything.
They tell me things all the time.
Yeah. So, anything you want to know about Mayapple?
Do you have any other glasses?
No, these are the only ones.
Why do you have a gun if you can't see?
Everybody has a gun. Why can't I have it?
Did you see Reuben's gun out by the privy?
Did you see the privy?
No.
Mayapple, are you farsighted or nearsighted? and you can see them close?
Can I see just fine,
Yes, ma'am.
I thought you already had all those vittles made early on. Why was you back there making more? You said you already had.
Because all y'all been eating them.
Yeah.
Well,
Ruben's always sneaking in, getting my pies. You want to be making pies all the time.
she's the best cook. And by the way, gentlemen, she's single.
How long ago was that when Seymour left you standing at the altar?
Seymour was gonna marry you!
Just answer the
Oh,
next
that's wretch.
How long ago?
Yeah.
10 years.
Seems like yesterday.
It's like a long time to hold a grudge. You had an awful good reason to shoot Seymour, if you ask me.
Well, we've been shooting for 140 years because of a possum pie. How do you
What
think
would you do if you had to throw your bouquet at a bunch of cows?
Yeah, I'd be mad. I'd be mad.
What's so funny?
Ma'am, are you a good shot?
Look, I was raised here in the holler. I'm an excellent shot, of course.
Can you hit the side of the barn?
If I can see the barn, sure.
Prove it.
You better get it down.
Yeah, no.
That's fine. That's fine. You put this down.
I wanted to see her hit the apple.
We don't waste apples around here. They're too high.
Look, I'm almost empty. Are we almost done here?
Is there anything else you want to know from Mayapple?
What's that?
I guess we heard enough.
Sheriff, we got a question in the back.
What's a ham hock?
What's a ham?
I'll make the best in the holler. You want some ham hocks? You come see me.
Who inherits the property now that she's gone?
Hey, Herb Lion.
Well, as I recall, that property was given to Jubilee by Robert E. Lee himself.
Well, technically, Seymour was both a McCade and a Hayford.
That's right.
So either family could claim it as
I'm
an
gonna go
inheritance.
talk to the magistrate about
He was a
that.
very distant cousin, let's understand that.
Thank you for reminding me of that.
Have you ever made a poison pie?
If she did, old Reuben here wouldn't be standing here next to us.
You wouldn't poison anyone, but this lady would like to know if you would shoot someone.
Of course not.
Well, McCabe, maybe.
Watch out.
So, are we going to let Mayapple alone now?
Yes.
Right. So we've done talked to every suspect except the new person in the holler.
City woman. Oh, thank you. Watch where
good, but if you're going to Hollywood, could you do me a little favor?
Why, sure. What is it, sweetie?
Well, you see, Alma, that's my wife.
Yes.
She's quite partial to Mr. Rudolph Valentino.
Oh.
And I was wondering if you could bring me his autograph.
Well, if I could, I most certainly would.
Well, thank you for that. Alma will be real pleased when I tell her.
You're welcome.
Tell us, how did a big city woman like you meet up with a boy like Seymour?
Oh, well, I met Seymour 4 years ago on the subway in New York City. The subway? The subway.
Is that like we know what a submarine is? Is that like
You don't know what a sub... Hold up. All right, think of a train, and it's under the ground.
you married the train?
No!
Coal mine. Trains go coal mine.
I'm a coal mine. You're in Seymour in a coal mine. No, I'm a coal mine. Look, there's a train. It's under the ground in a big tunnel, and it takes you from one port of the city to the other.
To the what? There are cows?
We never know. One part of the city to the other. One part of the city to the other. Yeah, we got it.
Okay.
I'm glad you do.
Do any of you want to ask Miss Amore? Yes, there's a question right there.
Miss Amore, have you ever been to Bucktail Hollow before?
No, this is my first time.
I'd know if I
Miss
seen
Amore,
her before.
why, when Seymour brought you here, and you mentioned that you enjoyed the pie, and he said to you, how do you know about the pie? And you brushed him aside.
Well, I just took a wild guess. All the chefs in the big city use sage in their cooking. So I just figured they'd probably use sage here too.
Okay, you're lying. I don't have any more questions.
There's a bunch of questions.
All right.
See, they all know.
Yes, sir.
Sage.
Miss Amore, you said that's your stage name. What's your original name?
Oh, do I have to tell them what my real name is?
Is it
It's really
Bonnie?
embarrassing. What?
Would everybody here know your name from your childhood from here?
I'm not from here.
What's your original
All
name?
right, you must know my real name. And think about it. This is exactly why I changed it. Would you go to a play if Bridget Yeager was in it? On Broadway, Bridget Yeager sounds like a complete loser. My mother's name? Karen Yeager. I just said Yeager. What's his name?
Yes.
Seymour said you both had secrets. What was your secret that you knew about?
Well, I don't really like to talk about it, but you know, the other reason I changed my name is because my family is a bunch of alcoholics.
We don't have that.
Yes.
Since you're such a big actor, how do we know that you're not just playing an act this whole time?
The reason why I had to shoot Seymour, he was my agent. He was going to get me into the movies. I wouldn't shoot my agent.
Yeah, but you said he owed you a lot of money.
Yes, he was going to get me into the movies.
I'll buy you a ticket for the movie.
You want a movie
They're only
ticket?
75 cents to beat you.
Oh, that's very nice of you, but no. What I meant was he was going to get me a part in the movie.
Oh.
What?
Like Mary Pickford and Clara Bow.
Yeah, like Mary Pigfoot.
Clara Bow.
Also, you know,
I never shot a gun in my life.
You never what a gun?
I never shot a gun in my life.
Well, all right.
Someone shoot me down.
this gentleman, and then there's one right
Would you
behind.
by any chance get the land if Seymour was gone instead of the lovebirds over there possibly getting the land?
Oh, she might get the land that was given to the Hafers by General Robert E. Lee himself.
Here we go. Don't know where it's coming from.
Seymour was supposed to get millions of dollars for this land at the auction. How much of that did he promise you?
Well, he didn't really promise me any money. He just said that he would help me get into Hollywood and be a famous actress.
How many promises has he made you? And how many has he kept?
Take her down.
Where did you get that nice coat?
I bought it with my own money. I've been in stage plays, you know.
Because you make so much money from those, I bet.
I do. Just recently I was in 3 plays. A Streetcar Named Desirable, The Oddball Couple, and Death of an Avon Lady.
Yes.
Was your mother a McKay?
No, I just said my mother's name was Karen Yeager. How many times do I have to tell these people?
What was her maiden
before,
name?
Before she got married, what was her name?
Klein. I don't understand why this is so important. They're about as smart as the people up here.
Who else wants to talk to Miss Amore?
I don't know, but you better hurry it up. I've been drinking.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Didn't you tell Seymour that he owed you a lot of money and you were going to get it back? And didn't it just make you really mad when he talked to that Rosalie girl and was taking her to Hollywood instead of you? Seems to me that gives you a real good reason to kill him off.
I would never shoot him. Yeah, he was being a real prick. And she was being a real floozy over here. I'd shoot him over this.
My daughter.
She's no
My apologies. Anyway, now.
Did she use the outhouse whenever Seymour was shot?
You better not talk about that. I can hardly wait.
Now, I was waiting. I was sitting in the car because we had our little tip, and I just wanted to cool off.
Can you even drive a car? Hey, you.
Nice.
Do you know how to drive a car?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. What do these questions have to do with anything?
What kind of car do you drive?
Well, you're going to make a New Yorker drives a car.
I did drive. What did I say? I didn't drive.
I think they've been drinking your recipe too.
Well, I just thought Seymour was.
That's a question right here.
What's in your purse?
What's in my place?
Yes. You wouldn't have a handgun, would you?
I have sunglasses, my keys, my mirror, tissue, more tissues, and lipstick. You happy?
What's in your bra? I just...
I can tell.
Is there anything else we need to know from Miss Amore? I think I heard all I need to hear from you folks.
Well, Luther, figure anything out.
Well, I learned a lot of things listening to you.
Luther, we haven't had any questions from you.
Well, who's
You, Luther, was it you?
Where were
Do
you?
you need,
Where were you?
do you need to borrow May Apple's spectacles? I'm standing right here beside you.
Well, Luther,
Well, how do we know you didn't have an accomplice?
where's Alma?
Maybe it was your bullet coming back
Almost at
down.
home.
Where's the
It's
guy?
butter churning, Dad.
Both of them, where were they when he got himself shot? Are you suggesting that it's suicide?
suicide?
I guess it might be possible.
My head is spinning without, who's the murderer?
Well, I need some time to think on everything that you told me.
Well, I think that's obvious.
Not to me, it ain't.
But how long is it gonna take you to figure it out?
I don't rightly know. But until I do, Reuben, I'm going to have to put you under arrest for the shooting of Seymour Simpson. Leastways, till I can figure out what happened here.
We all know what happened here. Reuben done shot Seymour. This sounds like something a king would do.
I didn't shoot no one.
Will you just watch your mouth there, Zeke?
All right, simmer down there. Mayapple, do you have any more of them ham hocks?
Well, I got some heating in the oven now.
So why don't we all go on inside and have something to eat and rest a spell while I think on everything you told me? Reuben, will you give me your word you ain't gonna try and run away?
Luther, I swear on the honor of General Robert E. Lee.
If I were you, I'd hog-tie them all.
Oh, simmer down, Zeke. Beulah, pass him that jug.
No.
And you all go on inside. You hear me? Go on inside. Now, while I'm thinking on everything they told me, I'm going to ask you folks to think on it too. I want you all to divide yourselves up into teams, no more than 10 people to a team. And I want you to discuss everything you've seen and heard and see if you can figure out who shot Seymour and why. What is their motivation? We have here little ballots that list all the suspects, and when you have your team ready, you can come up here and grab yourselves a ballot and fill it out, and then some nice people will gather them up for you, and then we can see if you're right or not. And the team that gets everything right, they just might win a prize. So I think I better get back into that store before any shooting starts. So you all talk to yourselves, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
What happened?
Look through. You think there's any molasses pie left in there?
Is that all you think about all your vittles?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's one nice guys like you. See you later.
Well, you know this him hawing around, Luther. I demand you take that boy to Jackson Junction and throw him in jail. He's a dangerous criminal.
Oh, you're wrong, Paul. Reuben, he couldn't hurt a fly.
Well, actually I can. Them flies is quick, but if you have the patience, you can wait them out. And then, when their guard's down, BAM!
Oh.
You got them.
You ain't helping things, Reuben.
Get away from him, girl. I don't want McCade as a son-in-law, especially a murderer McCade.
But I ain't a murdering McCade.
Who says you?
Says me too.
Oh, you don't count. You're his kin. Naturally, you'd stand up for him.
Well, blood is thicker than water. You know that.
Well, of course I know that, but let's just look at the facts.
Why don't you just look down the barrel of this here shotgun?
All right now, Beulah, Zeke, calm down there.
Luther's right. There's no sense in getting riled. Reuben probably won't even go to jail.
You really think so?
Yep. Yeah. I don't know much.
We got that part right.
As I was saying, before impolitely interrupted, I don't know much. But I do know that Seymour Simpson was a lying, cheating skunk of a man. Well, just think of all the people he done wrong. All that's gonna come out in trial.
And you don't think they'll send me to jail?
No.
You mean they're going to let him walk?
Oh, heck no. With those muscles, he ain't going to jail. They put him on a chain gang.
Rosalie, it looks like me and you ain't never gonna have that little cabin.
Oh, don't worry, Reuben. I'm gonna bake you a big cake with a file in it. That is as soon as I can borrow a cake recipe from Dad.
Why, you can't trust any recipes from a Hayford.
You take that back. There ain't nothing wrong with my recipe.
I say calm down here. Now I want you all to hush up and listen to me. I am the voice of the law in these parts.
It's about time you started acting like it.
But what is he gonna do about Reuben?
Before I do anything, I think we should take Zeke's advice and look at the facts.
Well, that's the most sensible thing you've said all day.
And after we look at these facts, I am sure that we are all going to be able to say, just like Mr. Basil Rathbone in Sherlock Holmes, it's elementary, my dear Watson, elementary.
But Luther, there ain't nobody here named Watson.
All right, follow me here. Fact number 1. Seymour Simpson inherited 150 acres of the best farmland in Bucktail Holler.
Hayford land.
McCabe land.
And now Simpson land. Fact number 2. Seymour come back to the holler to auction it off and get rich.
He was going to take me to Hollywood. I'm an actress, you know.
Fact number 3. Seymour had a lot of enemies around here. We even had an argument with Reuben.
Yeah, when we even heard Reuben threaten him.
But I was just gonna beat him up or dunk him in the creek or something. I wasn't gonna shoot him.
But Seymour did end up getting shot right in the middle of his auction. And that brings us to fact number 4. Seymour was shot with Reuben McCade's rifle.
And that just brings us right back to Reuben. I demand that you take that boy to Jackson Junction.
I don't believe it.
How can you stand there and say that?
I can say it because of fact number 5.
What the heck is that one?
The fact that Reuben ate one of May Apple's molasses pies.
And what's so important about that?
He ate that whole pie with his hands. They would have been covered with molasses. But did you notice? There weren't no molasses on his rifle.
Well, that don't mean nothing. He could have washed his hands down the pump.
But the pump is all the way over there behind the schoolhouse. Reuben would have had to have run all the way up there, washed his hands, and then run all the way back in time to shoot Seymour during the auction. He wouldn't have had more than 3 minutes. Now, I know mountain boys can run fast, but I ain't never seen one run that fast.
Reuben, that means you're innocent.
It does? I mean, of course I'm innocent, but does this mean that I am?
Of course not. Luther, maybe he can run faster than you think. Maybe he washed his hands somewhere else. Maybe he just wiped them off on his overalls. I can't understand why you're trying to bend that boy.
Well, Zeke, I can't understand why you're in such a dad-burn hurry to see Reuben McCade on a chain gang.
Well, I want to see justice done.
Could be. Could be to cover up your own guilt.
What do you mean, my guilt?
Well, let's look at the facts. You say that that land along Chamber Pot Creek belongs to the Hayfords.
Well, that ain't no secret. That land was given to my great-great-granddaddy, Colonel Jubal Hayford, by General Robert E. Lee.
Okay, seriously, where's that music coming from?
And number 2, you wanted that land back. You asked Seymour to sell it to you, and you made a right fair offer for it too.
I did.
But Seymour refused it. He told you to buy it at the auction. But all these men who come down here to bid on it are richer than you. You could never afford to buy that land. But Seymour was a Hayford, and if he were dead, you could claim that land as next of kin. Reuben's rifle was sitting there by itself. You could have picked it up and shot Seymour. Reuben would have taken the blame, and you could have inherited that land.
Now that sounds like something a Hayford would do.
Pa, is you the murderer?
If you are, can I have a general store?
I ain't the murderer. Well, yeah, that is Hayford land, and it should stay in the holler. It ain't right for someone else to own it. But, and with Seymour gone, I could claim that as next of kin. But I didn't shoot him. Do you really believe that I would shoot Seymour in the back? It ain't gentlemanly.
No, I don't believe it.
Well, how do you know?
He is one of the best shots in the holler, and he wanted that land back. But I know you didn't shoot Seymour. Because how could any great-great-grandson of Colonel Jubal Hayford be so dishonorable as to shoot a man in the back?
Are you sure about that?
Miss Amore, that's part of the code of the hills.
Well, I'm glad you see it that way, Luther.
I also see there's someone else here who wants that land.
That will be Beulah McCade.
Yep, that land was McCade land before it was Hayford land. And there are those who say that Jubal Hayford, as a Confederate hero, gave up any right to that land when he married that Yankee gal.
And with Seymour dead, she could claim that she was the rightful heir.
We all know Beulah's one of the best shots in the holler. She would have had no trouble picking off Seymour.
Grandma, did you frame me for Seymour's murder?
Oh, hush up, boy. Now, Luther, as much as I would have loved to fill that Seymour Simpson full of buckshot, I didn't shoot him. Well, for one thing, I wouldn't have used Reuben's gun.
Why not?
Because everyone knows it shoots a little bit to the left. And for another, I would never let any grandson of mine take the blame for something that I did.
So you are confessing that you're the murderer?
I ain't confessing to nothing. Just saying what I always say.
Blood is thicker than water.
Let me guess. That's part of the code of the hills, too.
That's right, honey. Everyone in the hills knows you stick up for your kinfolk. Beulah never would have let any of her kin take the blame for something she done.
Well, all you've done is told us who didn't do it. So why don't you tell us who did?
Now, think on this. What if Seymour wasn't shot for that land? What if he was shot for another reason? What if he was shot for revenge?
And that would be Reuben. He's the one that threatened Seymour.
Well, I was thinking of someone else. Someone standing in the meeting house wearing something old and something new. Something borrowed and looking mighty blue.
Could you perchance be referring to me?
And you was engaged to Seymour, weren't you?
I think I do recall something like that.
And do you recall how the meeting house looked, all hung with flowers, and everyone sitting there in their Sunday go-to-meeting clothes, and your Uncle Zeke outside with a big barbecue a-cooking, and the preacher just waiting to make you man and wife?
And Seymour just left me standing there. All right, Luther, you made your point. Made me the laughing stock of Bucktail Holler. I'm an old man because of him.
And after all these years, he comes back to the holler. How'd that make you feel?
Well, how do you think it made me feel? After humiliating me, he comes back here from the big city with his big city floozy girlfriend.
I regret that remark. Seymour was my agent. He was going to get me into the movies.
Well, they don't play those kind of movies around here.
And just what are you incinerating?
Well, that's for me to know and for you to find out.
Did Seymour talk to you?
Well, he didn't apologize, if that's what you mean. Thought the whole thing was funny. I was so mad I could spit nails.
And what did you do?
Well, I was gonna go home. I was walking past the privy. And I saw Reuben's gun sitting there. I even picked it up. And I aimed it at him.
So you're the one that shot Seymour?
Well, I thought about it. But then I put the gun back down.
Oh, how do we know you didn't do it?
You want to tell them why?
No, I'd rather not.
Well, then you won't mind if and I do. Mayapple is nearsighted. Even with them spectacles she wears, she can't see well enough to aim a rifle. And with Reuben's rifle shooting to the left, she never would have hit Seymour even if she did shoot at him.
Well, thanks a lot, Luther, now that you've embarrassed me.
I think Seymour already done that.
Oh, I can still see well enough that I can knock your teeth out.
That'll be enough there, Now, the way I see it, whoever shot Seymour had to be someone who knows how to use a rifle, especially one that shoots to the left. Someone who had a keen eye and a steady aim. And someone who had something against Seymour.
Oh, heck. Half the folks in these here hills did something against that man.
Well, I was thinking about something a little more personal. Something like Rosalie defending her honor.
Rosalie, why didn't you tell me?
Hush up, boy. She's my daughter. Rosalie, why didn't you tell me?
Well, there wasn't much to tell, Paul. Except Seymour. He kept making advances on me.
Rosalie, you should have told me. I'd have protected you.
Well, just what kind of advances did he make?
Well, he kept telling me how purty I was, and I told him that Reuben and me were practically engaged, but he said that didn't matter. And I reminded him of Miss Amore over here, but he said she was nothing, that he was just representing her as her agent. Oh, and then,
Yes?
well, he knew about the feud between the Hayfords and the McCades, and he was going to tell everybody about Reuben and me. I didn't tell no one, I just handled him myself.
Do you know how to shoot a gun?
Of course I do.
Well, you ain't from around here. You'd know that everyone in these hills learns how to shoot as soon as they can walk.
Oh, Rosalie's won blue ribbons in the county fair for her shooting.
I don't want to brag, but I sure am proud of my little girl.
I think I see how you handled Seymour. He was making advances on you, and he was threatening to tell everyone about Reuben courting you. You had to stop him somehow. And there was Reuben's rifle sitting by all by itself. You just picked it up, shot Seymour, and then put it back again.
Rosalie!
No, I didn't. I couldn't.
But you won blue ribbons in shooting contests.
Yeah, but all I ever shot were tin cans sitting on fence posts. I ain't ever shot a living critter before.
Rosalie's the kindest, sweetest, most prettiest girl I ever did know.
Oh, Reuben.
But she hated Seymour. She still could have done it.
I couldn't. Seymour was a skunk, but he was still a living critter.
Rosalie didn't shoot Seymour. She's just too tender-hearted.
Well, that just brings us right back to Reuben. Take that boy away.
I'll remember this come election time, Luther.
Rosalie, I guess this is goodbye. I want you to know that when I'm out there working on that chain gang, every time I swing a sledgehammer to bust up a rock, I'm gonna think of your face.
Oh, Reuben, that
When me and Alma went over to the Bijou in Jackson Junction, we saw a brand new moving picture. It was starring this brand new actress. I can't remember her name right now, but she was mighty pretty.
Oh, Mary Pickford.
Oh, she was newer than Mary Pickford, and real talented too.
Meryl Streep?
No, but she was kind of tall.
Angelina Jolie?
No, she had a nice figure.
Scarlett Johansson?
No, that weren't her either. I know, I remember, it was Mae West.
She ain't a new actress!
She is for Jackson Junction. It was a real good picture. It was called Klondike Annie. And Mae West, she plays this saloon singer in San Francisco, and she gets in trouble with the law. And the gold rush is going on in Alaska, and so she goes there. And then, to hide from the detective who was sent to find her, she impersonates a Salvation Army missionary named Sister Annie.
Does she get away with it?
Oh, I don't want to spoil it for you.
Now, what does this have to do with the murder of Seymour Simpson?
It has a lot to do with it. You see, the Frisco dolls weren't really Sister Annie. She was just pretending. Well, someone around here has been pretending.
Were you gonna tell us who it is?
Do you remember Viney Atkins, the girl from the other side of the holler that run off to the city? Well, she come back.
She has?
Wait a minute. Viney Atkins. Her initials are B.A. The same as Voluptua Amore.
What?
And Voluptua knew that wild sage was the missing ingredient in Florinda McCabe's possum pie.
And if she did grow up around here, then she would have learned how to shoot and would have had no problem shooting Seymour with Reuben's gun.
She's only acting like a big city woman, because she's an actress. At least that's what she tells everyone.
Okay, this is ridiculous. Even if I was this Viney person, what reason did I have to shoot Seymour? He was my agent. He was going to get me into the movies.
Wait, tell me again why it is we've never seen you in any moving picture shows at the Bijou over in Jackson Junction.
Because that Bijou never shows any movie made after 1940.
I heard you and Seymour arguing. He said that you both had past you wanted to forget.
Which means that Seymour knowed who you was.
Yeah, Seymour knowed who I was. I hated Bucktail Hall, and as soon as I could, I ran away. I went to New York, and I changed my name. And I changed my hair! I had plastic surgery on my nose and on other parts. And I got real stylish clothes like these. And I became an actress, and I got parts, and yeah, they weren't big parts, but I was going to work my way up. And then one day Seymour met me on the subway, and well, I don't know how he did it, but he recognized me. He always had these schemes going on, and every time one of them failed, he came back to me for more money. And he said if I didn't give him the money, then he would tell everyone who I was. And you ever think I'd become a star and people knew that I was the daughter of the biggest moonshiner in Tennessee? No! So I paid him. And then, when we came back here to sell the land, I thought that the blackmail would finally end and he'd keep his promise by taking me to Hollywood. But then, he started making eyes at you, Miss Daisy Bay, over here, and threatened to tell everyone who I really was. I knew I had to take the chance to ruin him before he could ruin me. Seymour was standing up here all alone, and Reuben's shotgun was sitting there all by itself. So I picked it up and I shot him. think anyone would figure out I did.
Well, I did figure it out. And now I'll just take you on over to the jail in Jackson Junction.
Oh, I don't think so.
I'm afraid you ain't got a choice.
Oh, that's what you think. But you just have that old Ford truck of yours. But I got the keys to Seymour's sports car, and it drives really fast.
Hey, finally, come back here. Come back here.
I was just gonna wait her.
Where'd they go?
What happened? She tried running away through Amos Haney's cow pasture. And these big city shoes of hers weren't made for running in pastures. My old Ford truck is waiting for you.
I never buy shoes and samples again.
You ain't going to jail or nothing.
Now hold on there, girl.
No. Paul, Ruben and me, well, we's in love.
And we want to get hitched.
Over my dead body, the McCays and Hayfords are sworn enemies.
Well, for once I agree with you, see?
Thank you, Beulah.
Oh, boy,
Wait a minute. I got something to say.
Oh, hush up, boy.
No! I'm tired of people telling me to hush up. I got something to say, and I'm gonna say it. Me and Rosalie is in love, and we gonna get hitched, and ain't nobody gonna stop us.
but the feud!
That feud is the dumbest thing I ever heard of. Never understood why we was fighting over a possum pie anyway.
Well, it's a tradition, boy.
Well, we need a new tradition.
Ruben and me, we's gonna start by getting married.
What's gonna happen to that land down by Chamber Pot Creek?
Well, with Seymour gone, the land belongs to both the Hayfords and the McKays. So if me and Rosalie build our cabin there, then the land will belong to both families.
Well, that boy is making sense.
Well, I guess that 8th grade education was worth something.
So does this mean the feud is over?
Well, I suppose Florinda McCabe could have messed up her possum pie all on her own.
Thanks, Grandma.
Yeah, my granddaddy says that old Ida Bell was mighty forgetful.
Well, come on, Zeke, let's drink on it.
Well, I think it ought to be the same without that feud.
Oh, Ruben, we're gonna live happily ever after.
You mean that's it? There's no auction? There's no whiskey? There's no wicked city woman? Oh, I get a happy ending? What a waste of 2 hours.
That word's a nice thing to say.
You just insulted our honor.
We're all gonna stick together now, ain't we?
Of course we are, like Beulah always says.
Blood
is thicker than water.
Looks like we got ourselves a new feud.
voluptua. And of those 3, there was only one that realized she was vining. And so we're looking for the team, the Royal Throne. If you'd like to come up here, how many are on your team?
The whole group.
Up to 10.
Just him.
Just me.
Only one person?
And her.
We have for you this ticket here. And you just might win some money. Just might not.
That's more likely, given my luck.
Let's get it on.
You're winning me out there, too.
I hope you had an enjoyable evening and that you come back, you hear? And